Hello friends, this is Parvez and I welcome to all of you on my channel Global Studies Aspirants. And today, as you can see, we are talking about medieval criticism, and this is a part of literary criticism. And this subject is very important, friends, for those students who are preparing for UGC NET. Okay, and sometimes maybe asking PGT examination, like tell me these specific lines or in these particular lines, who had said these lines or who has said this statement, this kind of, or you, it may be sometimes features or characteristics may be asked in the examination in PGT related to criticism. So it's a part of PGT and as well as great importance for UGC NET perspective, right? So let's talk about the time period, friends. 725 to 1474 AD. And one more important thing, friends, I wanna let you know that we would cover all the series of literary criticism plus literary story and literary theories, cultural theories, that would be covered before examination, December UGC NET examination. So please stay connected with us, okay? And you can boost up your preparation for examination, okay? And you can prepare your notes as well. All right, so do not get any kind of delay. Okay, let's get into the first one slide over here. First of all, let's talk about the introduction first. Here the friends, uh, this is medieval period and this is the basic introduction. I'll let you know the decline of fall and Rome took place around 5th century में रोम का decline हुआ. That's the greatness and invaluable contribution of the classical age were rediscovered during the Renaissance, and after that it again rediscovered at the time of Renaissance. The period in between the two major events in European history vaguely goes by the name of the Middle Age. You can say this Middle Age or the Medieval Age, both fine. And apart from this, as far as England is concerned, historians restrict it to a time span of 8th century. It may be considered that the complete 8th century, okay, right from the time Beowulf. Beowulf was written the first epic poetry that was written in 725 AD to 1474, and the time period is considered 725 AD to 1474 AD here. When Caxton published the first book ever printed in England, it's a very nice, just a moment, friends. It's a very important point over here, friends. The Caxton published the first book, okay, over here at the time of period, book ever printed in English, first book in 1474 AD. Okay, sometimes maybe ask this question. The one major development during this period of roughly 800 years in the adoption of Christianity, okay, complete time has been taken 100 years, 800 years in medieval period, like from here, as I told you, from here to here, 725 to 1474, 725 AD to 1474 AD. Okay, you must be getting. And Roman Catholicism was the first religion who came in existence in Western Europe, fine, which came in existence, right? The only available standard work in English literary criticism, Medieval Phase by J.W.H. Atkins, published in 1952. This was the first work, standard work, you can consider it, by J.W.H. Atkins, published in 1952. Okay, and let's talk about the medieval criticism features, friends, over here. By and large, medieval criticism followed the system of classifying literature under the heads of grammar, rhetoric, logic. These are the features: grammar, okay, grammar, rhetoric, and logic. Medieval age developed systematic poetic grammar. Okay, grammar means, what do you mean by the science of correct speaking and correctly reading curriculum of words? Fine. One other type of treatise means the long written article, you can call treatise, was written to promote the reading of poets. Typical medieval glossary, okay, and further are modern annotated classics supplying difficult words. Is here the means difficult word explanation of allusions, difficult words which are not clear, ambiguity, like, okay. Another form of criticism close on hand with the previous type was the study of versification. There's a time of study of versification, emphasis on meter and rhythm, okay. Versification means, and it's maybe called prosody as well. Poetry is distinct from prose, okay. The two art, prose and poetry, were considered different at that point of time, Okay, it is not found in its content alone. The syllables, fit, meter, numbers were given all full treatment. Okay, so you can take a screenshot, friends, or you can you can prepare your notes as well. Let's talk about further. And here there are no documents which treat poetry in relation to music. It was further told us that poetry has no relation with music or arithmetic, as per this some scholar. But there are quite a few. There are few scholars who consider which deal with poetry. They thought that it deals with poetry in relation to philosophy or theology. Theology means study of religion. Poetry was considered a prophecy or revelation. It's considered like a noble language, very revelation kind, and that's reveal the facts. Okay, it means it reveals the facts. It's a very noble language. Okay, equal to philosophy in the old world. It's considered that is equal to philosophy in the old world. Okay, considerable amount of philosophy, medieval criticism dealt with biblical criticism. Here again features biblical criticism. Okay, mysticism and allegorical, like making some humorous, making copy or mimic of something or someone, reading of works by works. This kind of allegory, mysticism, and biblical criticism, like very noble, very you can say pioneer language. The each kind is used in poetry. The poets were theologians, okay, and they poetry by the overflow moments of inspiration. Inspirational poetry was written, you can say. In the hand of Dante, Dante embodies deepest theological truths. Dante also focused emphasized theological truths. Thus, we see that during the Middle Age, poetry exists within grammar, rhetoric, logic, and philosophy, as I told you earlier, friends. Okay, some some of these persist and found expression in different versions in the succeeding ages, and some of these were assimilated into system of thought at a later date. Such word at this mean line, this line means different version has been used in after succeeding age, after late ages, and some of these were assimilated into system of thought. The thought process developed by these kind of poetry. Okay, let's go ahead. Here, friends, we may also divide medieval criticism into broad periods. Like these are the periods, and very you can write down these notes, or you can take screenshots. It may be as sometimes in questions, or sorry, in the paper in the examination. Okay, late classical period, first century to 7th century AD. Carolingian 8th century to 10th century, High Medieval 11th century to 18th century, Scholastic 13th century to 14th century, Humanist to 14th century to 16th century. So it may be that sometimes first 8, 11, near about 1400 years has been covered. Okay, by this some scholars, some thinker, it is the systematic way, systematically presentation of ages. Okay, just a moment. Okay, let's go ahead, friends. Just a minute. Okay, the century Bede and Elkin, educators of the clergy, expounded grammar, logic, and biblical and Christian poetry in the 12th century. Okay, John Sisbury and a few classical theorists infused life into the literary studies. Okay, what does it mean, friends? That at the time of Bede is also a very ancient poet. Elkin, educators of clergy, they focus on logic, biblical, and Christian poetry. Okay, and grammar, logic, biblical, and Christian poetry. Okay, and few classical theorists infused life in the literary studies. These are the Winsop and John Garland. Okay, and taught techniques in poetic composition using manuals which are sort of theorizing at its infancy. These are some more important writer related to ancient time, medieval time. Winsop and John Garland, Roger Beck and Richard of Bury. They are some contribute. They contributed also in that kind of in that poetry, that era poetry. Okay, and Kindle enthusiasm. They work on enthusiasm. Okay, they told about enthusiasm for poetry and literature. There should be feeling of enthusiasm, right? With the vernacular language means local language by dialect. Okay, center as stage as medium for literary discussions freely took place in English at that point of time, and the great famous the work first poetry of the English at that point of time, which used rhythm. Okay, maybe all and the nightingale in 1210, the time period it was written, but the writer anonymously it was written. Okay, and what does it mean? What is the inside of this? What is the theme and story of this poem? Let's see, friends. It is perhaps the earliest among the surviving English lyrics medieval period, okay, expressing a native and pure English sensibility. Okay, the poem is in the form of dialogue के form में है, right, between the two birds, nightingale and all the two birds engaged in a dispute, fine, which is finally settled by a mediator. Okay, the strength of this poem lies in its use of vernacular. Here again they used the vernacular local language in this poem as well. The employment of the colloquial language. Colloquial means local language, local communication type based language. Here you can understand by this word. It's spoken by the common people, fine, and common proverbs also used at that point of time. Dialogue carry age old wisdom of the English nation, fine. This can be seen as a forerunner of the movement towards the use of the vernacular in English poetry. So basically what does it mean? They focused on the vernacular language, common language of the common people, fine. Just a moment. And here the Dante allegory. Let's talk about the Dante allegory, friends. Here Dante too defended the use of vernacular medium rather the curtly. Here, actually, I'm sorry, friends, because I'm not right now. I'm not friendly with this kind of digital writing. So it's maybe some disturbance or some problem. Sorry, but you can manage. Don't worry. Okay, but the paragraph is all clear. You can understand. Let's see what does it mean. Dante too defended the use of vernacular medium. Okay, Dante also uh, defended. Okay, protected this view. This thought, Latin for literary composition. They focused that we should use vernacular language instead of Latin. Okay, he said an example. He further wrote Divine Commedia. It's a very famous Divine Commedia. Okay, in Italian language it was written. Established the spoken dialect for in serious epic poetry. It is considered serious epic poetry. According to him, secular poetry too had its hierarchy in four levels of meaning. Okay, they've told that there are four levels of meaning corresponding to four levels of scriptural exegesis. Okay, these were the literal. First one was literal, genuine, allegorical. As I already told you, friends, the moral, allegorical, like some mimicry kind of work, the moral and the spiritual. Okay, he maintained that it was essential for a practice critic to analyze and understand the literal sense. So these are the basic features of Dante Alighieri's poetic or prose. Okay, these are the some characteristics which are told by Dante. Okay, before he moved on to more appealing, edifying senses of higher levels of symbolic or historic meaning. Okay, let's move ahead. And here again, I.A. Richards also focused on these kind of language, referential and emotional type motive language. The four kind of meaning defined by term. He further told us that he gave a very famous term: sense, feeling, tone, and tension. Sometimes this question may be asked, has been asked in the examinations. Very important point. You can write down or you can prepare the notes. You can prepare your notes, okay, as well. Several kinds of levels and meaning coherence in a poetic utterance. Okay, Chaucer and later Wycliffe also contributed and supported the growth of the use of vernacular poetry. Okay, they also told that we should use the vernacular language. Teaching during medieval period was based on doctrines drawn from the post classical Christian tradition, and it was uh, taken from basically classical Christian tradition. Okay, I hope you must be getting, friends. Translating these ideas and doctrines into English, what they used to do that were supposed they used to translate these ideas and doctrines into English, and that cannot be constructed as a critical achievement. It's may not be constructed that is critical achievement because it's all about copy. But even after that, this is a great. You can say this is a great achievement, historical achievement we can consider, because such shortcomings now not withstanding for a student of literary criticism. The medieval age is indubitably, okay, undoubtedly. Basically, you can understand by these it's a very typical word, very hard to pronounce. Okay, all right, no problem. An era of historical importance. So even after that, medieval age is considered an era of historical importance, friends. Okay, friends. So this is all about today. And if you really like this video, friends, please do not forget to like our channel and subscribe our channel. Okay, and I will meet you again with the next one video. Till then, bye, and thank you for watching this video.